Robert Heffernan with EndoTech, exclusively for the Pareto Network and EndoTech subscribers. This is Blockchain Vitals. It's our daily show talking cryptocurrencies, blockchain assets, things in the matrix. You know, I'm a master endotechnician now in the matrix while I trade cryptocurrencies and blockchain assets. You know, yesterday I talked about the weekly fractal and that weekly lower momentum collar and last week's lows on a bunch of these things. So far, not able to take out last week's lows. But before we get to the price action and do the vital section, we do the rounds every day. So let's do the rounds. It's my chance to talk about what's in the headlines, what I'm seeing in the space. Speaking of space, this headline you might have thought would have come from outer space only 6 or 8 months ago. And that is the state of Ohio accepts or is not going to accept Bitcoin for tax payments. Imagine that. Imagine this fraud of a Ponzi scheme now being accepted for tax payments by the great state of Ohio, the Buckeye State, 4 dead in Ohio, lyrics, very progressive if you ask me. And I know one thing about states and revenue collecting. If one does it and it shows to be successful and it saves money and is more efficient, much like the recent legalization of recreational marijuana, one state falls, the next state comes fairly quickly, as they all have bills to pay and they all need to cut expenses and make it easier for people to pay taxes, and maybe forward thinking that the digital revolution will continue and people might be making lots of money in digital assets. And if they're going to pay taxes on it, why not make it as easy as possible? I mean, the tax man wants to be able to collect his taxes and make it as easy as possible for you. So I just think that Ohio ahead of the curve here a little bit. And why not? Why not make it easier and available for people to pay with digital assets? I see it as a no-brainer. And the important thing is I see other states will watch this very closely. And by all means, they're going to be jumping in. The other thing I saw on the wire and the price action rebounding from it is CoinGeek ending the hash war. I love how, you know, I love the headlines in this space. We got a hash war going on. Usually that was resolved for opium fields. Now a hash war means something completely different. And the Bitcoin Cash hard fork, which was Bitcoin Cash ABC and then Bitcoin Cash SV. While the ABC people have won, they get the name so far, as this article pointed out. BCH is the BCH ABC, and the Satoshi version now will be BSV, Bitcoin Cash SV, because they lost the hashing power. They thought they were going to have more power in that department on the fork. It hasn't realized. And so for now, and I don't see how for now ever changes, it's 2 forks. One's called Bitcoin Cash, and the other is BSV, Bitcoin SV. Down the road now and forevermore, both of these, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum Classic and Ethereum, all of these forks, they have to gain users. They have to make market penetration. At the end of the day, their value is going to be adoption. You know, adoption and use will be the key driving forces in any of these blockchain assets. All right, another headline that I saw that I thought was interesting and fun and funny was a question: are institutional investors accumulating Bitcoin while retailers panic? Of course they are. That's how this thing works, all right? The weak hands puke, the long-term holders that have been waiting for this price area get in. And believe me, I think the long-term institutional investors will buy on any break here down to that 1600 level that I've talked about repeatedly. Along the same lines from Morgan Creek, Bitcoin will bottom at 85% discount to all-time highs. You know what? Why 85% exactly? You know, I hate that type of headline. Give me a reason why to buy, and I'm telling you why I'm loving the 1600 level. That's the lower momentum collar on the monthly fractal in Bitcoin. That's why I love it. All right, listen, I'm getting ahead of myself because that's actionable trading information, and that's supposed to be reserved for EndoTech subscribers and Pareto token holders. The other thing I will tell you, and we're going to go to the vital section, and I'm going to let you know what that level is. Very, very key here now, as we've got 15 days in a row now trading in lower momentum, below the lower momentum on the daily level in Bitcoin. And you need that sheet to know where that level comes in today to see if we're going to have, you know, for me, it's all about the momentum. And now it's all about holding that lower momentum. And if we get a close out of lower momentum, it's all about look out, because 15 days is a good, and the price discovery that we've had, a good run to the downside here, and a correction may be imminent on a closing basis or taking out that lower momentum level on the daily basis. So let's take the vitals. In order to do that, as I said, you need to be an EndoTech subscriber, Pareto token holder. So see you later to the YouTube crowd, and let's take the vitals.